I've been watching YouTube's trending page for a while, and recently I found a video out of Virginia about a horrific 63 car pileup which left 35 people injured due to hazardous road conditions. I'm going to include the clip here, and as I watch it, I just thought to myself, if those cars on the road all had Tesla autopilot technology, would that pileup have ever occurred? If hypothetically all the cars on the road suddenly became Tesla models, would we see any of these major accidents at all? What's going on, guys? I'm Sequence Zero, and today we're going to be talking about why exactly AI is so important in the framework of our society within the future, how it fits into the basic foundations of our daily lives currently, as well as why it's considered to be such an important issue of discussion by many who are really much more well-informed than we are of the bigger picture applications of these frameworks, such as SpaceX and Tesla founder Elon Musk. We're going to be talking about AI in relation to Tesla automation, so let's take Elon's talk on the Joe Rogan podcast for example here.
What happens if your car gets a little sideways, like if you're driving in snow? Like what if if your autopilot is on and you're in like Denver and it snows out and your car gets a little sideways? Does it correct itself?
It's got great traction control.
But does it know how to like correct? Do you know how when your ass end kicks out, you know how to counter steer?
Oh yeah, no, it's really good.
It knows how to do it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's pretty crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So like if you're going sideways, it knows how to correct itself?
It generally won't go sideways.
It won't.
The two are discussing roadway conditions in the wintertime, and Elon makes a great point about the autonomous driving AI, which is able to make calculated adjustments in adverse conditions on a millisecond to millisecond basis that a human being could simply never make, regardless of their skill or experience, which is due to the limitations of their brain's computing capacity. I mean, if you think about it, if you take a human brain and a computer chip and you ask which one side by side is able to do more calculations in a certain frame of time, that computer chip is going to blow away the human brain in that specific level of competition every time.
What do you see in terms of like when you think about the future of your companies? What do you see as like bottlenecks? You want some more of this?
Sure. Thank you.
What do you see in terms of like bottlenecks of things that are holding back innovation? Is it regulatory commissions and people that don't understand the technology that are influencing policy? Like what could potentially be holding you guys back right now? Is there anything that you would change?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I wish politicians were better at science. That would help a lot.
That's a problem.
Yes.
There's no.
I did some deeper digging in the hopes of finding some sources which will cover a few important sets of data to shed light on this issue. The first set of data includes statistics relating to human error which resulted in deaths from automotive accidents per certain amounts of miles driven in comparison with Tesla's automated drivers suffering from fatal accidents resulting in deaths per miles driven. With Google at my side, I found various statistics involving Tesla model safety reports and crash rates, but it became definitively clear a lot of the data I wanted to search for was going to be difficult to find, as car manufacturers generally do not like publicizing accident reports of the cars they're involved in trying to sell. Nevertheless, my detective work paid off when I came across an article from Futurism.com, which explains the most relevant data points for the purpose of our analysis here. In the fourth quarter of Tesla's 2018, there was one accident per every 2.91 million miles driven while the autopilot was engaged. However, once the autopilot was disengaged, there were accidents reported per every 1.76 million miles, which is an almost 100% rise in frequency of accidents once the responsibility was shifted from AI to human control. Now, more like 80%, but still a very concerning number. To put both of these numbers into perspective, non-Tesla or standard gas-powered automobiles suffered from one accident per every 436,000 miles. This is important because when calculating the frequency of accidents of standard motor vehicles and Tesla vehicles, an accident is likely to occur 6.7 times more often in the non-Tesla vehicle. So let's take this opportunity to stop for a second and think about how this issue I'm discussing holds weight on the future of not just our transportation, but also larger topics like our collective cognition and the way we view artificial intelligence as a society moving into 2020 and beyond. Critical thinking is a valuable skill, so let me simply ask you, wouldn't you want to get wherever you're going as safely and as quickly as you possibly could? I think the answer is obvious for most of us. However, the road to getting there is where division of opinion exists. One can argue that safety and efficiency are the pillars of any technology in our society. There are essentially a couple of broad paths in the next 10 years for contemporary society to take. One path in which we accept automation and the benefits it can bring us in not only driving, but in varied aspects of our daily lives, such as education, commerce, and communication. In this path, I personally believe we face revitalization in our collective efforts to build a better future as a society that is more in tune with what we as individuals need to seek fulfillment in our lives. The alternative path in which we fail to accept technical automation in conjunction with artificial intelligence just means essentially more time spent in the dark, researching alternative ways to achieve the same end goal. This isn't productive at the individual or the societal level, and doing the same things, i.e., refusing to advance technology by implementing Stone Age legislation against automation over and over again, expecting a different result, i.e., reduction of fatal traffic accidents and greenhouse gas emissions, is the definition of insanity. In order to achieve progress, we must change. That is the theme of today's video, and a theme I hope a lot of you carry with you into the new year and the new decade. Thank you guys so much for watching. The video's research took quite a bit of time to put together, so if you enjoyed the content, please let me know by hitting the like button, sharing a comment for discussion of a topic mentioned here, or subscribing to stay updated on future content. If you made it this far, I hope you have a great week ahead of you. Peace out.